Welcome to Can I Has Buff, the series where most of the time editing is spent trying to get the audio levels correct, where we highlight a weapon in Warframe that has aged poorly and may need a rework or buff.
That's right, which is why we've developed some whiz-bang new weapons, so bullies around the world never bother us again.
Huh, I think I get it.
Well, Jimmy, maybe you should just see for yourself.
Boy, thanks, mister.
The Ogris was introduced on May 23, 2013 in their Rise of the Warlords Mega Update, which among other things introduced dojos and subsequent clan tech research. Initially, the Ogris was a crudely shaped red housing with straps seemingly holding it together. While its new design makes more sense and has interesting animations, a skin that would bring back the old Ogris design is surprisingly a popular suggestion. Regardless of your disposition on the looks of the weapon, not much else has really changed over the years since its release. A few tweaking here and there, sure, as well as the damage change from Damage 2.0, but nothing really significant. Sporting a high 650 blast damage, it has great damage for most weapons, but generally low for an explosive, as well as it having average status and low critical chance. In addition, the weapon doesn't actually deal 650 damage. Rather, the rocket itself will deal 150, and the explosion will deal 500, as the UI simply adds these together. So in reality, the damage listed in your UI is actually even lower than what is listed, except to the enemy you hit directly with the rocket. The weapon is slow to charge, but becomes reasonable when paired with Vile Acceleration, with a minor hit to damage. It has a low ammo reserve of only 20 rounds, and also uses more rare sniper ammo drops for ammunition. The Ogris can take advantage of Firestorm to increase its blast radius, although it will only increase the radius by about 1 meter. Adhesive Blast to make rockets stick to enemies and deal procs before exploding, as well as oddly having the chance for slash procs to occur as well. And finally, Nightwatch Napalm, which creates a bright, overpowering fireball that sets enemies on fire and deals decent damage. This time, I only have 2 buff suggestions, because I already enjoy the weapon personally. The first would make it more lore-friendly, at least from the perspective of how it works in the hands of enemies. Aiming directly at an enemy will cause the reticule to make a beeping sound and turn green if you hold it on that enemy for at least 1 second. When locked, letting go of the charged rocket will make the rocket fly at a faster speed, as well as it having turning capabilities to home in on that enemy. In addition, the longer the rocket takes to get to the target, the bigger the explosion radius will become, due to having momentum and speed, up to an additional 6 meters. This would make the Ogris a lot of fun to use, as well as giving it a bit more crowd control. A mod purchasable by Steel Meridian, Atomic Justice would turn the rockets into highly volatile warheads packed with detonite. The rockets would travel 30% slower, be 10% larger, and have a radius of 12 meters at base. When impacting an object or enemy, all enemies in that radius suffer a knockdown due to the shockwave of the radioactive blast. In addition, enemies will suffer a radiation proc for 6 seconds, and armor is stripped by 10%. This armor stripping power is not affected by mods and does not stack. Essentially, the mod turns the Ogris into a portable Fat Man from Fallout 4, without the blinding flashes. So that's the Ogris, the only true rocket launcher in Warframe that sadly is showing its age. What do you think of the Ogris? Tell me in the comments below and stay tuned for the next installment of Can I Has Buff.